is underway in the NFL. Chandler from the 4. And Chandler has a gaping hole across the 30 to the 33-yard line. John Capoletti, the only running back, as they have Eric Sievers starting also. Far side, as they start out in a hurry, across the 40 to the 42.
To put him into the offense.
Capoletti, now we announced Muncie as a starter. That's the way they did it today. But Muncie did not start this game. Instead, Eric Sievers, a rookie, number 85, is in there, along with Kellen Winslow and Wes Chandler. This is Winslow in motion. Dan Fouts with 300-yard gain. Broken up. Doug Martin was there. Also Duck White. Field this time, playing with a cast on the left hand. This is Muncie. Muncie is close to the first down. He may have it. He's out to the 44. Rating himself all week. Roberts, a left footer, hits it very well. Going for the side. However, he's not going to get where he wanted to be. San Diego Charger making his 90th straight start. A gift to Ted Brown. Brown has running room. And Brown is about a yard short of the first. Second down, a yard. And it looks like the Vikings are able to pick it up. Very, very close. Sammy White goes in motion. Kramer, his first pass, scrambling around, which he does as well. And Kelcher bats it down. Kelcher could not locate the football, or he might have had a chance at the interception.
Louis right here getting by his man, getting up the field, getting rid of the guy, puts his hands up, and there it is right there.
Getting rid of him is being kind of putting it mildly. Tommy Kramer, who's just been magnificent for this team, rolling out a lot of pressure, intended for Brown. He is hit by Lyndon King, trying to set up the screen.
The safety. You see right here, Gary Johnson getting up the field again. It's a screen, so they let him through, and Lyndon King really comes underneath the block.
You believe they drafted him as a strong safety? He's 6'4". Now he's way up there in weight, 237 pounds. He's about 210 coming out of college. Third down still, 10 yards to go. Woodcock almost fires offside. Kramer with time, Sensor, he can't hang on. They would have had the first down if he would have caught that.
Yeah, the ball was thrown just a little bit low.
Chandler, no score in this game. And Coleman hits a beauty. Oh, did he get into it. Chandler at the 9. Tremendous kick by Coleman. And Chandler getting some distance out of it. Does an excellent job of bringing the football out to the 27-yard line.
Very well.
Second down and 9. Fouts with time. Winslow can't get up high enough, but you could see he was giving it every shot. Tampa Bay, who's tied with Minnesota for first, is leading Green Bay. Fouts on third down, wide open. Charlie Joyner, and that'll be a first down to the 42. Tom Hannon. That could not have been any more wide open than it was.
Enough time. He's not going to drop back very deep. Gets a lot of pressure, but right over the middle there is Charlie Joyner. I don't think he should have been that open.
I know that Coach Bud Grant doesn't.
Tommy Hanna made the play. He's a fine player for them.
That was a 16-yard pickup. 191 yards against Cleveland. That was a record for San Diego. When you set records in receiving here, you've done something, because there's a few to break.
Yeah, and Fouts seems to be breaking his own records every week.
21 300-yard games. Only Unitas and Jurgensen are ahead of him. They say that Winslow has revolutionized the game. He's the prototype of what you expect in tight ends in the future.
What's interesting is this is last year they started bringing in another tight end, Eric Sievers, which would allow Winslow to move out and get matched up with the secondary. So he can do it all. He can play inside and block or receive, run any type of pattern outside.
Fouts. Little pressure put on that time by McNeil. He gets it up, but that will not be enough for the first down. Knopf with a good tackle on Kellen Winslow.
Right here, Winslow comes up. You see the two receivers at the top of your screen. They're just running up the field to clear out and waiting for Kellen to break underneath. It takes time for Seaman to get to him. And when he does, a little bit too late.
He'll be kicking to Eddie Payton. 10-17 to go in this first quarter. Payton at the 6. And Payton struggles out to the 18-yard line. He is intense from the 18-yard line. Brown, he got a yard and hammered in a hurry. San Diego team. Kramer. Brown and Brown makes a nice move to the 25, and that'll get him the first down. A good one-on-one move by Ted Brown.
Go. He looks and sees and knows he dumps the ball off to Brown over here. They just want to get the ball out into a flat to a great athlete and hope something like that happens. A guy misses the tackle or falls down. Heck, they got 9 yards. They'll settle for that.
On the get-go?
On the get-go.
From the 31-yard line, first down. Again, the Vikings getting a little field position. 9:20 to go in this first quarter. No score. Gary Bender, Fred Dreyer for San Diego. Kramer, Sensor, wide open. First down at the 45. And his heel load to tackle. Pete Shaw made the stop.
See Sensor wide open. Somebody may have missed a little coverage there, too. Here's Woodcock going against Steve Riley. See the technique that he's using? He pushes him down. You can do that now. That's a good play by Riley.
It's one of those new rules they legislated against you. First down, Kramer. Again, protection is there. Going to Sammy White, but overthrown. Double coverage that time on Sammy White.
The anthropologists tell him that you're going to lose your toes in about 10 years anyway.
Oh, what a strike to Sensor, and that'll be another first down, and Kramer is just kind of picking what they give him. The running backs. Here is Brown, and Brown to the 37. Ted Brown last week had 97 yards. Second down and 8. Kramer stepping up again, gets it off to Brown. Brown breaks the tackle. 30, 25, and Brown to the 21, and that's twice now that Brown has been hemmed in on the flat, only to break a tackle and pick up big yards.
Look at Woodcock. Look what happens to Woodcock here.
18-yard advance.
Tommy might have held the ball a little bit too long, but he's waiting to get the ball over here to Ted, and he does a great job after he gets the ball.
Ted Brown off to a big day. Kramer 4 of 8 now for 60 yards. First down just short of the 20-yard line. Rashad and White split out. Quick pitch to Brown. He stumbles. He had a block from Ron Yeri. Second down and 12. Kramer. The Sensor. It's intercepted. Picked off Willie Buchanan. Buchanan hit hard at the 25, and he'll get to the 30. Willie Buchanan with his 3rd interception of the year. Had he gotten up quicker, he would have gone all the way.
Yeah, I think he would have. He fell down. He made a great play. He broke real good on the ball. There's Willie. Kramer really was rushed here by Woodcock. Had to step up and throw in a hurry. It gave Willie just a little bit more of an opportunity to read the quarterback and did a great job of intercepting the ball.
Willie Buchanan with the interception, stopping that drive. When we come back, the Chargers will have it at their own 30-yard line. First down, and his receiver falls down. That receiver being Wes Chandler. He's now 3 of 9 today for 28 yards. Second down 10, Chuck Muncie. Muncie breaks the initial line of scrimmage and is hit hard. 2 running backs this time. Play action. Bounce. Overthrown and almost intercepted. And White is going to take it out of bounds at the 26-yard line.
Waiting for a flag to come out of there. That is roughing the kicker right there. That should be a penalty.
Only thing we can't see is whether it was blocked into him from that particular position.
Well,
but I'm like you. I kind of thought maybe they'd have a flag. We understand that Eddie Payton has ice on his knee on the far sideline. That's the reason Sammy White fielded that last punt. At the 26-yard line, Minnesota, Ted Brown. Brown some running room. Out to the 30, 31-yard line, a gain of 5. 31, second down and 5. Woodcock putting pressure on, and a pass interference against Buchanan. Willie Buchanan over the top of him.
Who throws a little bit. Well, he's right on the money, isn't it? And then Willie comes over the top of him. That's just a defensive play that he has to decide what he wants to do on.
Minnesota thus far gaining some confidence. They've been able to throw the ball. They've been able to run the ball. They've had the ball most of the time in this first quarter.
Yeah.
4:10 remaining in it. First down after the pass interference. Play action. Look out. Woodcock broken up. Intercepted. Big hands Johnson. Gary Johnson to the 20. 15. Woo! 10. Johnson inside the 5. He's dropped at the 3. That is a dream of a lifetime for a defensive lineman.
I tell you, Big Hands Johnson was doing some tap dancing going in for 6. That's a great alert heads-up play by Gary Johnson. Big hands and all. We see an end zone shot. You see, Kramer's got some time here. He throws over the rushing. Right here, Johnson gets the ball, turns and goes for the end zone. He's very north-south oriented. Makes a great move. Look how nimble he is.
You know, he scored a touchdown on a lateral from Jones earlier this year in that Kansas City game. Here's John Cappelletti. Oh, is he hit? He may have lost a yard on that play. He was drilled backwards in a hurry. But Big Hands Johnson scored his second career touchdown earlier this year. He almost got his third.
I tell you, I was pulling for him, I'll tell you that.
Did you ever pick one off and go in?
Yeah, 1975, Roman Gabriel threw me a pass and it stuck right in the end of my face mask. I didn't know where I was.
You're kidding.
No, I ran in for a touchdown.
Did you leave it in the face mask?
Yeah, I left it in the face mask. I spiked my helmet.
Second and goal now at the 2. Chuck Muncie. And Muncie is in. Touchdown. So the Chargers, with their second interception, this time able to capitalize on it. And they have a 6-0 lead at the 3:11 mark of the first quarter.
Chuck Muncie, cast and all.
Chuck Muncie had 161 yards in the first game this year.
Those people up front, see how they occupy him? Russ Washington and Kellen Winslow did a great job of turning their men in, which allowed Muncie to come around and score.
Chuck Muncie in the best shape of his life. About 218 pounds after last year, playing at about 233. Bernurska to attempt the point after, and he has it. And San Diego with a 7-0 lead after a 36-yard return of an interception by Big Hands Johnson and a 2-yard touchdown run by Chuck Muncie. For Muncie, that already is his 6th rushing touchdown of this year.
He's off to a great start. He's really going to be a real big boost for Don's offense.
So the Chargers, 7-0. As now Bud Grant trying to get them regrouped. They've had 2 very unusual interceptions. One of them could have been run back if the guy had gotten up soon enough, and Johnson almost did.
It's very important right there in that sideline meeting that everybody is on the same page. They had an awful lot of things happen to them all of a sudden. It's great. It's very important to regroup.
Did you see that? The Rams beat Atlanta.
Beautiful.
Atlanta now has lost 3 in a row, and that makes a big game out of that St. Louis-Atlanta game.
Yeah, I never thought that Atlanta would lose 3 in a row.
Now, Marty McDowell is going to be the deep man for Minnesota due to the injury to Eddie Payton. Bernurska will kick off. Rolf Bernurska. What a favorite he is here in the San Diego area. 7-0, the Chargers. It's going to be instead Keith Nord. Nord out to the 15, 20, and he's out across the 30, 35, still spinning his way. There's a flag on the play as he advances it to the 40-yard line. Nord earlier this year fumbled a kickoff, but this time did an excellent job. But let's see what the penalty is all about. Dennis Swilley over there checking with Chuck Heberlein and his crew. The Vikings are backing up, anticipating the penalty against them.
I think we got 2 penalties. I think San Diego's going to be called for offsides on the kickoff, and I think he got a clipping or holding penalty on Minnesota back here.
That one is inside the 30-yard line. Yes, you're right. There is a flag way back at the other side, and that would be an offside, you would anticipate. So we may do this all over, huh?
Yeah.
Offside on the kicking team. Illegal block below the waist on the receiving team. They will negate each other. Replay.
What does a coach say, a special teams coach say, when you get offside on a kickoff? That doesn't set very well, does it?
Well, the coach realizes that it's important on the kickoff to get downfield and break down and get ready to get hit, because that's what's going to happen to you. So the guys are just a little over anxious to get down there, that's all. They just got to watch it.
Those special team guys, they're something. They're a breed apart.
You know, I tell you, not all starters are on those special teams, but believe me, if you're a starter, you really appreciate those people running down on those kicks.
How long were you on a special team?
I was a rookie in New York. I was on a special team, and then they realized that I was a terrible special teams player, and they made the wise decision to put me on the bench.
That extend your career a little bit, you think?
Yeah, I didn't argue.
Okay, forget that last play. It didn't happen. We're going to kick over again. from the 35-yard line. Again, McDowell will be deep for Minnesota. 3 minutes left in this first quarter. San Francisco leading Dallas 14-0. Boy, what a shock that is. We mentioned LA won, and the Jets defeated New England.
They're hot. I like the way the Jets have been playing the last couple of weeks.
They were in real trouble there for a while. Renershka to kick off again. Going to be short. It's going to be Keith Nord again from the 15. 25, 30, and just about where they had it the last time, the 35-yard line area. Vikings, who have suffered 2 interceptions. Now Kramer with 5 for the entire season. This time from the 34, they'll set it up. There is Dan Fouts. His daddy was quite a play-by-play announcer in the San Francisco area.
You know, Danny has a great temperament for a quarterback. He is undisputed leader of that huddle, believe me.
And he's got some statistics to back up that he's a leader. What a performance he has put in the last 4 years. Ricky Young, Ted Brown, the running backs behind Kramer. On first down, Kramer with time. Ricky Young, and Young to the 40. A gain of 5. It'll be 2nd and 5. You know, you always say, or you hear a coach say, that you have to wait 4 or 5 years to know how effective a trade is. Well, Ricky Young and Ed White, they're exchanged for each other. That kind of neutralize each other?
Well, I like to see 2 teams enter into a trade and both get something out of it. It's great for the players, it's great for the organization, and both players have really contributed well to their teams.
Ed White came over yesterday visiting with you, and his usual very trim figure. Maybe a couple of pounds overweight. Here's Ted Brown on a 2nd and 5. He'll be 3 yards short of the first down. Leroy Jones making the stop. I'm sure many people are aware that the Chargers do not have Fred Dean anymore. He's now in San Francisco. Woodcock trying to fill some big shoes.
Yeah, John is primarily a defensive tackle. He came in from Detroit. As a matter of fact, he was teaching school when they called him up. But he's doing a real good job adapting out there. He and Leroy Jones, I think, are going to be a real determining factor in today's game.
Well, he's making a little more money playing football than he was teaching. Said he got tired of eating hamburger helper.
I can understand that.
3rd down, 2. Kramer, Sensor, and that'll be a first down. What a catch. This big tight end is playing very well. Woodrow Lowe rams him out, but it's a first down for the Minnesota Vikings.
It's just a little drop back pass. Riley doing a good job on Woodcock all day today so far. A nice pass and a great catch. Gets both feet in bounds, at least 1 foot in bounds.
What are you trying to say?
Yeah, 1 or 2. I don't think he has 3 legs, does he?
Sensor already with 3 touchdown catches. This is a shock. Is that a shocker?
Are you kidding?
San Francisco. Dallas may lose 2 in a row after being beaten by St. Louis last week. Kramer on first down, wide open White. He can't stay in bounds, but he has a first down catch at the 30, and Kramer really had something on that pass.
Boy, I tell you something, I think he's just getting warmed up. He kind of like a little half sprint out there and knows right where he's going from the time he gets the ball. Right over to one of his best receivers here. And he makes the nice, Sammy's running down the field and read how deep Buchanan was playing, just cut it short, headed for the sideline.
Well, they got to cover a little closer than that.
Well, I think they're going to have to. You might see that play again down here.
23-yard gain on the play to the 30. And Kramer, who's moved this team but still isn't on the scoreboard, has a first down with 1:23 to go in the first quarter. Ricky Young in motion, Ted Brown. He sidesteps one man, but he's going to lose yardage. Just didn't develop at all. Leroy Jones messed it up.
See, that's a big play. What we're talking about earlier, those 2 defensive ends, Woodcock and Jones, can really be a force here because Minnesota does like to get outside. That's a good play by Leroy. He'll need some more of that.
Well, a former teammate of yours, he was a 2nd-round draft pick in Los Angeles.
Yeah, at the time he was with us in L.A., there's just no room for him.
Out of Norfolk State in his 6th year. Been the starter the last 5 years for San Diego. Ferguson has replaced him as Jones comes out. 2nd down now, 13 to go. That's Joe Sensor in motion. Kramer with time. And Sensor has a first down inside the 15 to the 14. I would say their game plan was to find their big tight end.
Yeah, I think that with all the great receivers they have with Rashad on the outside, Louis does a good job of high stepping over Hamilton. Just a little bit shy of getting the sack. They like Sensor. Boy, you know, Sensor has caught more touchdowns than any other tight end the Vikings have ever had.
And he is just starting to come on his own. This is only his second year in the league. First down inside the 15-yard line. Kramer on a delay to Brown, and Brown gets nothing on that play, and he's roughed up a little bit. John Woodcock, the first to get there. You run inside, you better protect yourself a little bit against this team.
Yeah, they got two fine defensive tackles that do not give up a lot of territory, especially when they get inside their own 20-yard line.
Houston scoring a lot of points today, 35-10. We're coming now to the end of this first quarter.
Ferguson was in on those last couple of plays for Leroy Jones at left end. They really like Ferguson. They think Ferguson's going to be a player. He's a kid out of Ohio State that they really like. He's got a lot of ability, and we might see him later on today.
He's a 5th-round draft pick. That's the end of the first quarter with the score. The San Diego Chargers 7, the Minnesota Vikings nothing.
Food, clothes, just about everything seems to cost more today. One reason young families think they can't afford life insurance.
Allstate update, lower life insurance rates.
Now, Allstate's cut prices up to 20% on a lot of their life insurance. Like this $100,000 level term policy that now only costs a 28-year-old father about $19 a month. Before you buy, come in and compare. For life, home, or auto, you're in good hands with Allstate.
This is radiator rust. It's building up after just 10,000 miles on weak, neglected antifreeze. Now look at a radiator protected with new improved Prestone 2 after the same miles. Quite a difference. Introducing the new silicone silicate formula Prestone to lock out rust and corrosion in all metals. Now it's even stronger for better aluminum protection. New improved Prestone 2. The best seller just got better. No wonder we're #1.
The engineers of Mercedes-Benz have created an advanced diesel power system. Its heart, this compact turbocharger. And this system has just transformed 2 more diesels into high-performance turbo diesels. Mercedes-Benz unleashes the 300D sedan and the 300 CD coupe. Now with 45% more power. The 300D sedan and the 300 CD coupe. The 2 newest turbo diesels from Mercedes-Benz.
Ready to go, the second quarter of play. Minnesota, Freddie, has done everything but get on the scoreboard. They've moved the ball, trailing 7-0.
Well, this, believe me, they should feel good about what they've done so far because it's still an early game.
Ball just inside the 15-yard line, 2nd down 10 for the Vikings. Brown and Young in the backfield. Sammy White, he almost had it. He tried to throw it over Wyatt Henderson defending on the play, and White almost was able to hang on to that for 6 points.
We will see it from the end zone. Kramer knows right where he's going right away. He's going to get the ball a little fade into the corner to Sammy White, just hoping that he can get the ball. Almost had it right there. He's a great athlete.
Boy, that would have been a remarkable catch by Sammy White, who's still looking for his first touchdown catch of the year. 3rd down. 10 from just about on top of the 15-yard line. White and Rashad split out. Kramer a little half roll. Wide open Ricky Young. Young one-on-one. 10-5. What a run. Touchdown. Oh! Remarkable play by Ricky Young.
That was all Ricky Young. What a beautiful run. Now you see what Bud Grant saw in Ricky Young when he made that trade for Ed White a couple years ago. What a beautiful run. Here it is again. You see Kramer, he was going over to his left and then saw Ricky Young over here. He just got the ball out to him. He breaks down, makes a great move right there inside, right by Wyatt Henderson, and makes a great effort right here. What a great back.
Boy, it looked like he'd be lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage on that play.
It was all Ricky Young on that play.
15-yard pass completion for the touchdown. Rick Danmeyer, the point after. Keith Nord holding. And he has tied this game up. 7-7. The Vikings, who are looking to win their 4th in a row, coming back after the interception. to tie up this game at 14-47.
Nowadays, there are all sorts of ways of saving and investing money that help fight inflation. The problem is finding the one that's most profitable for you, because now you're forced to swim through all kinds of confusing details. Maturity dates, minimum deposits, interest rates, even tax benefits. But there is a way to escape all this confusion. It's by calling or visiting your full-service bank. For professional guidance with high-yield savings, it's all the bank you'll ever need.
If you've ever had the feeling you had to wait forever for a Subaru station wagon, here's good news. They're available now with on-demand four-wheel drive or front-wheel drive. But because of Subaru mileage, Subaru sticker prices, and Subaru durability, better see your Subaru dealer soon before they start disappearing again. Subaru, inexpensive and built to stay that way.
Monday, it's 2 season premieres. Private Benjamin's promotion drives Captain Lewis crazy. And on The Two of Us is Brentwood sending Nan phony fan mail. 2 great comedies premiere Monday.
Rick Danmeyer, after tying this game up 7-7, you know, that game between San Francisco and Dallas is now 24-0 in favor of San Francisco. Ray Wershing with an 18-yard field goal. Montana has 1 touchdown pass. The other 2 have been running. Danmeyer kicking off. 14:47 to go in the second quarter. Going to be short. Wes Chandler at the 11th. And he's hit and dropped by Randy Holloway. Holloway with one big arm reached out and made the tackle. And the ball will be marked at the 23-yard line. There's that last drive culminating in that 15-yard play. Beautiful effort by Ricky Young.
Here's that last play, a touchdown by Ricky Young. Fake to Ricky Young. He goes over here in the flat just to get out of everybody's way. And then he takes a check off back from here behind the line of scrimmage. Puts a great move here. This was all Ricky Young. That's why they traded for him.
He took a big shot from Big Hands Johnson and still stayed on his feet. Fouts moving around. He was trying to hit on the far side Chuck Muncie, but nothing developed on that play. And again, some pretty good pressure by Minnesota.
Yeah, you know, Fouts was moving around there. He's not going to try to run. He was just trying to get a little bit more room and a little bit more time to get the ball downfield to Chuck.
And Fouts again. He started slow last week, then started getting it all together. He's 3 of 10 now. Second down and 10. Minnesota playing with some, I'm sure, renewed confidence after having the 2 interceptions, coming back and tying it up. In motion to the bottom of the screen is Charlie Joyner. Fouts, good protection, now running around again, going deep. Dwight Scales is down there with Williams. Oh! Almost caught it at the 15-yard line. Dwight Scales. Both of them waiting on it. It must have seemed like an eternity to both men.
I lost it for a second. I thought it was a blimp. Here's Duck White being passed off by Rush here. The one thing you want to do on a quarterback like that is get up the field with your inside pressure. He scoots out to his right and just throws the ball up, hoping that Dwight can jump up and get it. Almost had it right there.
You know, that pass was thrown 65 yards. A 65-yard effort.
Oh, that would have been a terrific play if he'd held on to that.
Third down. Chuck Muncie, the only running back behind Dan Fouts. 3rd and 10. Fouts again stepping up. And Joyner can't hang on. John Turner hitting. And I am very impressed the way Minnesota is playing defense right now.
I'll tell you, that last scoring drive that they had, when they capitalized it and put it in the end zone, they know they can move the ball and score on San Diego.
John Turner coming back from the broken leg. He's been used primarily in the nickel defense, and Dan Fouts will go off and wait for another opportunity.
You know, they believe John Turner, regardless of his broken leg or anything, they think he's their best cornerback.
To kick the ball will be Roberts. There's his average. Sammy White will go back for Minnesota. In that first quarter, Minnesota had the ball 9.5 minutes to San Diego's 5.5. Roberts, a beautiful kick. White going to let it hit, and it's going to go out of bounds at the 29-yard line.
You know, Gary, a possession of time is not really that important with these two teams because they do such a great job when they have the football.
Instead of having one of those ordinary neighborhood parties, we're having something better, a movie party. With our RCA video disc player and video discs. Just flip a switch, and on our TV, we see Goldfinger, Grease, The Black Stallion, Star Trek, Ordinary People, Patton, The Pink Panther, Peanuts, and 100 more, starting as low as $15. And the player costs less than $500.
Bring the magic home on RCA.
To Subaru, an economy car is only economical if it stands up year after year. Spending less at the pump is no bargain if you start spending more at the garage. In a study of Subaru owners, Road and Track magazine said, quote, one of the most trouble-free cars we've surveyed. That makes Subaru the economy car it pays to hold on to year after year after year. Subaru, inexpensive and built to stay that way.
If you have something nasty to say, don't say it on paper. We know someone who did, and it may cost his boss $9 million. Tonight on CBS.
With Freddie Dreyer, I'm Gary Bender. We have 14:10 to go in this first half after a 47-yard kick by Roberts. Minnesota has the ball at the 29-yard line. It's all even, 7-up. In motion, Terry LeCount. Ted Brown, he's the only man to carry the ball for Minnesota. Got a block from Ricky Young and a first down run because of it. Ricky Young, who made a remarkable catch for a touchdown, just threw a fine block.
Boy, I tell you, who else threw a great block is Marty McDowell, 88. Boy, he came in and he really leveled the linebacker there. You don't get to see it, but off to your left, you see a purple guy. There he is. See that guy right there? Good job of walling the guy off from the inside, and Ricky Young does a good job of getting Buchanan out of the way, and Teddy Brown just takes it from there on his athletic ability.
By the way, a final now as Tampa Bay has defeated Green Bay 21-10, so the Vikings will have to win today to stay tied for first place in the NFC Central. Kramer, Sensor, did he catch it? He caught the football. What a catch that time by Sensor.
What a catch.
I got to see this one again.
Me too. Kramer fakes to his right and then sees Joe over the center. Right out of the way of who was that diving guy right down here? I didn't get to see him, but what a catch by Joe Sensen. That's why they like him.
Well, he was quite a basketball player, Fred. He had the ability, good hands. He showed it there. He comes up now with his 5th catch for 67 yards.
I'd feed the guy the rest of the game.
He's been the man they've been going to at the 44-yard line. First down for Minnesota.
That's how we get fired.
7-7 our score as we've just started the second quarter. Brown straight ahead, and Brown fumbled the football. I believe it's been blown dead, however. So it'll be Minnesota's football, just short of the 35. The crowd here not agreeing, obviously, with that. This partisan Charger crowd thought they had the football. He picked up 8 yards on the play. 2nd and 2. I'm sure you've been to a few of those where you wouldn't agree with it either.
And I've been right every time.
Except the right people didn't think you were right.
Here's an important score right here. If you're a Viking and you're sitting down looking at the scoreboard right now, that's incentive enough to play well.
Boy, Doug Williams had a big day, 167 yards passing in that game. He is playing well for Tampa Bay. Sammy White in motion. Here is Brown. Brown first down inside the 30 to the 29. Boy, Tampa Bay's got to play Oakland next week.
You know, Kramer, he may be fooling some people here because he came into the game expecting to throw the ball, but he's doing an excellent job of mixing up his runners as well as his passing play.
He's got to have San Diego right now kind of sitting on their heels a little bit.
Yeah, the game is even as far as the scoreboard goes, and the time of possession is surely in favor of Minnesota, but they're inside the 30-yard line now. They're just as dangerous here, if not more so, than they are in the middle of the field.
Rashad and White at the bottom of the screen, split out. Kramer on first down. And out of bounds goes Rashad. He's belted pretty hard. He nonchalantly took that pass, and it was very rudely hit at the 20-yard line.
You know, one thing, looking that way, looking right for Rashad. As soon as he got the ball, he saw Rashad step out of bounds. Right here you see he takes a nice little shot. Ahmad Ahmad has learned to do one thing, and that is brace himself and take better care of his body and after he receives the football.
Fred, that breaks the Minnesota Viking receiving record with that catch. He moved ahead of Chuck Foreman, and also his 67th straight game to catch at least one pass.
Well, he's, I'll tell you what, he'll keep breaking his records every time he catches a ball because I think he's one of the best receivers in football.
On a 2nd and 1, Brown gets the first down. And Minnesota just relentlessly moving the football. First down at the 17 of San Diego. Rashad with that catch is 18th. Looking next Sunday, St. Louis, Atlanta. Fred and I will be there for that game. This is going to be an unbelievable year. 10 more weeks to go.
I think the team that goes to the Super Bowl have 7 or 8 losses.
Well, you know, Don Coryell said he thought the team in this division could win it with a 10-6 record.
He may be right.
First down from the 17. Brown has a block from Jim Huff. Has the corner, and he's inside the 10-yard line. Brown running effectively against the 3rd-ranked rushing defense in the AFC.
You know, Gary, if you can get Teddy Brown the football on running plays and establish a ground game, imagine what you can do by giving him the football down here inside this area and then using a play pass off the same type of running formation and start throwing the football. I think you might see that later on in the game.
Brown coming in here had 626 yards of total offense, second only in the NFL to Tony Dorsett. Bud Grant in short sleeve weather, which you're not used to seeing him in, has to be enjoying the way his team is playing now. Second down, 3, Brown this time nowhere. Ted Brown will be stopped and will bring up a 3rd down and still a yard to go. 3rd down, a yard. Bob Horn, who's playing in place of the injured Cliff Thrift, made the tackle.
Interesting thing about Horn, he's had a hurt back for a while, and he got it pulling his truck. He pulls his truck, hooks up a little harness over his shoulders, and pulls the truck down the street just to give himself a little bit of leg work. But he hurt his back. No, I wish I was, and so does Bob.
Some of you guys are kind of...
The game will do it to you, Gary.
Big play. 3rd down, 1. Everybody in tight. Kramer to Ricky Young, and I don't know. Did he get it far enough up?
Well, I don't think he got it.
We'll have to wait and see. Ricky Young straight ahead. That's the first time he's carried. Ted Brown has carried every other play from the line of scrimmage.
Just a quick little handoff to get the yardage to Ricky Young. It's a lead play. I'll tell you what. Bob Greger came in and put a knot on his lips.
He is
he's shaking up.
He really got belted, Ricky Young. They were 3 out of 4 on 3rd down conversions prior to that one. Let's see if they got it. We also have a Charger down on the field.
That may be
They got the first down, Fred.
Yeah.
1st and goal. Ricky Young's made 2 very, very significant plays in this 2nd quarter. A touchdown run and then that 1st down run.
They're doing a terrific job of mixing their offense up. They're doing a great job.
So the San Diego player, and San Diego's really beat up. Cliff Thrift is out. He had his foot stepped on this week. We talked about Muncie. We talked about also Clarence Williams. This is Bob Greger, 43, the free safety who they're talking to. We'll be back in a moment at the 10-11 mark, a tied-up football game.
This Bud's for the guys who got what it takes to shake, rattle, and keep on rolling.
This Bud's for you, for all you do. The king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you, that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do.
This Bud's for you.
In most commercials, the cars start up here with some help from a helicopter.
that's I consider that great praise.
Them's big words.
Inside the 30-yard line, that's what it is. Minnesota's offensive line, other than the Monday night against Oakland when they gave up 8 sacks, protected very well. They've only had Kramer sacked 3 times since he came back.
There are a very versatile group of people up front. Everybody there, the 2 guards can play tackle, and the 2 tackles I think can probably fold in and play guard, but they do a very good job of working well together, and they've improved dramatically since Kramer's come back to the team.
Let's listen now to Chuck Heberling.
Holding, offense, number 78, second down.
That would be Steve Riley, one of the 2 veteran tackles for this Minnesota team.
Yeah, John Woodcock, as soon as the offense happened, he jumped up off the ground screaming, "Hey, I'm the guy you held." Sure enough, that was him.
You never did that, did you?
No, not at all.
Very quiet.
I always filled out requisitions to give the officials a watch holding.
After the penalties, second down, 17. Jimmy Webb has come in, replacing Louis Kelcher defensively on the line. Ricky Young overthrown. Coverage very effective that time by Woody Lowe, the linebacker.
I think the rush now may start to take its effect. Woodcock had a good rush there on Kramer.
Woodcock is probably a better defensive tackle, isn't he, than he is an end, but he's doing well out there.
Yeah, primarily he's a defensive tackle, Gary, but they moved him out to play right end, and being a good athlete, he's met the challenge out there. He's a big, strong guy, and they like him very much. I think he's going to play well for them.
They acquired him for a 12th round draft pick from the Detroit Lions. Third down, 17. Kramer in a little bit of a hole. He's going to try to get out of it and almost threw the interception. Mike Williams, a pass intended for Rashad, but Williams was in perfect position but couldn't hang on.
Boy, Williams, here it is. He drops back. It's pretty good pressure here from the right. You see Central folding in to block. He gets rid of the ball and right into double coverage. He really tried to force that football.
He will do that to Rashad sometimes. He has such confidence in Ahmad Rashad.
Yeah, he sure does.
Look at that. 1 kick for 56 yards. He'll be kicking now from the 15. Wes Chandler is back deep. Chandler, who was the 3rd player taken his rookie year in the draft, ahead of both James Lofton and John Jefferson. And Chandler at the 24. He avoids McNeil. And he's inside the Minnesota end of the field at the 47. Fred McNeil missed the tackle. And Chandler then picked up some big yardage. Robin Sidline, the rookie from Texas, made the stop.
I think Chandler's won himself a job back there.
Chandler getting up slow. Now he has a problem with the groin also.
He does a good job setting things up. Starts to his left. Cuts up the field a little bit, trying to find out where the hole. That makes the cut right there. He made a cut, but then slipped, which helped him get by that tackler. That's all Wes Chandler. He's just a great player. That's why Don likes him. He's explosive.
47-yard kick, but a 30-yard return sets it up at the Minnesota 48. Coming up at halftime, Brent and Irv, and you've been seeing some of the scores. A lot to talk about, and we'll be joining them. Chuck Muncie, the running back, with the football. Inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. A gain of 6. 2nd and 4. Seaman and Studwell on the stop.
You know, it's difficult to establish a running game against a 3-4 team for the very reason that the linebackers, there's 4 of them, and they have a very good access laterally to the football. It's tough to get your offensive linemen get through the defensive line and into the secondary or into the linebackers to block them, and they do a very good job. Seaman and Studwell are excellent inside linebackers.
2nd down 4. Seaman, a 10-year veteran. Studwell, his 5th year. Fouts wide open. Wes Chandler. And Chandler inside the 30.
Here we go.
You know, they say you can never replace a guy like John Jefferson, but he could come pretty close.
Yeah, he's right out of the same mold as a John Jefferson. They're going to employ him the same way. Fouts. Doesn't drop very deep, gets the ball. They do a good job of getting their hands up and hits the open man. Chandler goes to the open area. They're in a zone over there. He just goes into the open area to get the football.
Wes Chandler, who has probably better speed than Jefferson, They're not the same type of receivers, but both very excellent. First down now from the 28. Muncie trying to go wide. In trouble. John Turner is there, and Turner will make the tackle. And a loss of about a yard on the play. Turner feeling very well and seeing a lot more action today.
Yeah. They like him. Like I said earlier, he's their best cornerback. He's very consistent. He's really come along. He's really improving.
The White Scales checks in. Sievers will check out. We're approaching the 2-minute warning in this first half. Second down, 9. They actually got a half yard, maybe a yard on the play. Scales split out. Chandler split out. Joyner also. And Winslow in a wing position. Fouts over the middle. Charlie Joyner, and Joyner at the 6-yard line. First and goal, but there's a penalty flag. A flag back at the 17-yard line.
I think it's on the defense. No!
It's on the San Diego Chargers.
I think Kellen Winslow is going to be called for pushing off. Yeah, I think that's what it's going to be.
Well, Winslow is arguing his cause, but to no avail. Now retreating to the huddle. So that will bring it back after a wide open pass over the middle to Charlie Joyner. They call Joyner the technician. He runs everything precisely the way you draw it on the blackboard.
He's not so much a guy who's going to be a real deep threat because he'll leave that to a Winslow and to Chandler. But he is so technique
Offensive
oriented.
pass interference, number 80, second down.
He is so pass technique oriented that he's very, very disciplined in his routes.
There's Dan Fouts as the 2-minute warning is here. The Chargers, who have led twice, trying to take the lead for the 3rd time in this game.